right, what up, everybody? Let's see. I forgot to do something. Let's do this. Delete, and let me add the background. Da-da-da. Come on. There we go. Now I got the flyer as the background. Awesome. And let's see. Hey, we got 3 people in here. Man, how y'all doing? Y'all share this show out. Let's get 10 people in here. If we get 10 people in here, that would be super amazing.
Well, I will do my part. I will quick hop on Facebook and share it again.
Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you. That is awesome. 4 people tuned in. Y'all stay tuned, man. This is going to be cool. I'm going to share this in Messenger while I'm at it. Let's see. Let's see. Jeff, Rodney. Man, this is so cool, man. I'm excited. All right, let's see. White Radio Racing. Okay, cool. Let's see. Yeah. All right, so I have with me here Zachariah Turnage with the Christian metal band Blue Fire Horizon. You want to tell everybody who you are about your band?
Like you said, I am Zachariah Turnage. I am the founding member now, the only original founding member of the band Blue Fire Horizon. We got together back in November of 2019 and have been going strong ever since, despite some lineup changes here and there. We are a metalcore band. Yeah, that's what I got for you. From Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, all the way up north.
That is awesome. So how did you come up with the name Blue Fire Horizon? That's a cool name.
So that was our original guitarist. We had a different name picked out that for continuity's sake, we have never told a soul outside the band what that name was, and we never will. So you can use your imagination, think about it forever. But the day before we uploaded our original single to all the streaming platforms, we kind of all were like, we don't really like this name as much as we thought we would. And our old guitarist kind of just tossed out, what about Blue Fire Horizon? That sounds cool. We were like, okay, does it mean anything? No, it doesn't mean anything. Okay, cool. So he came up with the name, and then we decided, okay, it's got to mean something. So let's give it a meaning. It sounds cool, but let's give it something to mean. So did some research. Blue is used often to signify faith. It is the color of faith. Fire represents a burning desire, a longing, and the horizon is the point in the future in which our Savior will return. So mush it all together. It is our faith in and longing for the return of our Savior.
Wow. That is the coolest name in Christian rock. I just got to say, that's cool how y'all come up with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, because like the burning desire to be on fire for the Lord. So I got something cool for you and y'all's band. So what up, Jason Katz? There's Jason. He's the owner of the radio station. How you do, Jason? So I got something cool for y'all. What up, John? So I started a website called Spirit Burning, and what it is it's a website for Christian rock musicians to have a place to get their show dates out there.
Okay.
And me and Cliff, my awesome buddy Cliff that helps me with my ministry, we went to see Disciple in concert in 2021, I think it was. And what up, Harry? And got Filthy Rags in the building. How you doing? So we went to go see Disciple in concert in Pale City, Alabama, which is 3.5 hours from me. And we went up there, and we get there 5 minutes before Disciple goes on stage. And I'm all fired up. I'm excited. I was like, yeah, I get to finally see these guys. And the only thing I knew about the show was that it was free. And I told Cliff we're going, and Bands in Town was advertising it. Everybody that's in the music community know what Bands in Town is.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know, it's a multi-billion-dollar company. Don't know who owns it, but they basically promote music shows, venues, have tickets, whole 9 yards. And so Bands in Town kept saying on the website, "Well, check back for info." So I never could find any info, only that it was a free show. So I messaged Josiah Prince, the guitarist, and I asked him, I said, "Hey, man, are y'all still having that show? Because I want to make sure it ain't going to rain, whatever. It's a long way to drive." And he said, "Yeah." He said, "We're still going to have it." But the only thing he really knew about it was a free show. I was like, okay. And so we get there, and I kid you not, right before Disciple goes on stage, they were thanking all these other bands that had played. And I said, whoa, I ain't going to lie. I was upset. I said, man, Cliff, I to this day, I still don't know if it was a festival or what it was.
Right.
But there was at least 3 or 4, however many bands it was, Christian rock bands, had played before Disciple, and they were thanking those bands. And I told Cliff, I said, if I'd have known this was going to happen, we'd have showed up earlier and watched all these other bands.
Right.
And so, so I basically felt like they dropped the Bands in Town dropped the ball. And I'm not bashing them by no means, because obviously they know what they're doing. They're a multi-billion-dollar operation.
Yeah,
so
that guarantees that they know what they're doing. Yeah.
And so fast forward to last year, because I go to a lot of concerts, and last year I started looking up Christian rock shows, because there's never any in Alabama. Mm-hmm. And when it is, it's usually with Winter Jam, or thankfully Sunday Slumber gets some shows down this way every now and then, which is amazing. And so I started looking up these websites for artists, and I bet you I went to 12 different websites looking up show dates. And then I forgot some bands. Oh, man, I can't believe it. I forgot these bands I listen to all the time. So I went to Google and, oh, yeah, I know. And then I went to their website, and no show dates. They're all up north. I said, all right, then. And so I felt like the Lord calling me to build a website just for Christian rock musicians only, to have a place to get their show dates out. And so I came up with the idea. I've got the website built, but it's not 100% finished yet. And then I came up with the name Spirit Burning. So I like how y'all tied that in your song, in your band name, about being on fire for the Lord. Yeah. So you ever listen to Christian rapper ASAP Preach?
Christian rap? No.
Yes.
No, not my thing. No.
Okay. That's okay. It's not everybody's thing.
No, so I grew up on I grew up on like DC Talk and the Newsboys, and then my tastes just kind of got progressively heavier. In my teen years, I mostly listened to like Skillet, Disciple. I loved We As Human, hated when they broke up. That broke my heart. You know, bands like that, and then slowly and progressively got heavier and heavier in my tastes until now. Give me the heaviest thing that you can find, and I'll be happy with it.
Awesome. I love We As Human. I saw them in concert. Look, I was devastated when they broke up, and I was like, man.
I saw them 2 months, because I don't know how well you remember when they broke up. They had a full studio album done, ready to release, and they broke up without releasing it because they pushed back the release date like twice, because it was originally supposed to be released in like August, and then it got pushed back to like December, and then February, and then just nothing. And I saw them in July, the like month before they were supposed to release that album, and then everything just So they played some of their new songs at that show, and I was so hyped for that album, and then nothing.
Man, I never knew that, because I know they did 2 albums. I never knew they had a third one that wasn't released yet. Man,
it was done, and I know some people that were close with them, and I'm not going to get into the background because I know what happened, but
sure,
it was a split that one of the members owned the rights to the music, and did not want to release it with the rest of the band. So, so yeah, the person that owned the rights to the music refused to release it. So
that sucks. That sucks. So Harry there, he's the lead singer of Filthy Rags band, and he said he played with him in 2014 and 2015. KCF, Kingdom Come Festival. Awesome.
You're muted. You muted yourself.
Oops. Man, I'm slipping. So yeah, ASAP Preach. His name is Ian Barnett, and ASAP stands for Always Say a Prayer. And we play a lot of Christian rap music on the station, and he's like my all-time favorite. And so I got to meet him in concert. And I ain't gonna lie, when I meet, and I know most of y'all are just regular folks, but I ain't gonna lie, I nerded out meeting him. I was like, wow, this is my guy. I was like, and he even tested my knowledge. He asked me a question, and he's got a song called Spirit Burning. And he tested my knowledge, and he said a line in the song, and he said, stay grounded like a what? And I said, earthworm? He's like, yeah. And he was so fired up that I knew that. And so basically what the song Spirit Burning is it's a song about being on fire for the Lord and have a spirit burning and going and telling everybody about Jesus. And I said, you know what? That is me to a T, because I'm all the time passing out these witnessing tracts to people. Like I do it every day. And so, I asked him one day, I said, hey man, I said, do you mind if I use the name Spirit Burning for my website? And he was fired up. He's like, yeah, man, go ahead. That's cool. And so because I thought to ask, I said, well, that's a respectful thing to do, because I don't want somebody to come back and say, oh, you stole them, blah, blah. Right. So he gave me the permission to use it. So I got a logo. It's a heart with a fire around it, and it's a cross, and it's got the Bible verse on there. And so I'm hoping that I can get it going to where it's a full-time thing, to where Christian rock musicians can have it's got an interactive calendar on there. I've got a feature for music video of the month. I'm going to do a contest to where artists submit their videos, and the one with the most votes will win, and their video will stay up on the site for a month. And so I'm going to do cool stuff like that. And if any band is interested, I got a deal going right now just to start off. It's going to change later probably, but as of right now, I got a deal for $20 a year. I'll promote the band on my website, promote them on all my social medias, plus my podcast and my personal page as well, if any band is interested.
I'm gonna go back to something you said before about you kind of fangirling, right? I've had, I don't know, a dozen of those interactions where people come up to me super excited to meet me, super excited to, finally see us play, all that kind of thing. And I will tell you, I may not show it on the outside, but inside I'm probably just as excited that you're that excited to see me, like I'm just a random dude from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin that just makes noises into a mic, man. Like, you don't need to be this excited to meet me in person.
That's awesome. That's cool. And I'm sure y'all have done a lot of shows in as many years as y'all been.
Maybe not as many as you would think. We all have full-time jobs. We are all parents. We all, have other responsibilities. The band is something we do when we have time. I think we probably over the last few years average one show a month, when we have time to book it, when we, are able to on weekends and stuff. But we definitely don't tour as much as we'd love to. We just don't have the financial stability at home to be able to go out and do that. And,
sure.
That kind of thing.
And this is my hope and prayer. And I've said this to some others that I know, and I really mean this. You guys are talented enough. I hope and pray that one day y'all make it full time in music. I'm serious.
Thank you. That would be the dream. It's something none of us are planning on because can't really plan on that, but that's something we would all love.
That's like my friend. I was talking to my friend Tyler Pridgeon. He is the drummer for the Christian worship band called One Step Closer is the name of the band. And they've been a band for years, and they changed a few members, but they still got some of the original members. And they just lost their guitarist. Sadly, he's moving, but they're doing an audition for another guitarist. But I told him the other day, I've been listening to these guys since day one when some of them were just youth pastors many, many moons ago. And they haven't, they're fixing to get in the process of starting to write their own music. And I told him the other day, I said, man, I said, you guys are talented enough. You've been doing it 10 or 12 years, however long they've been a band. I said, you guys are good enough to where y'all should be able to do it full time. And I think that'd be awesome. And he told me, he said, man, he said, that's the goal, that's the dream, but it's totally up to the Lord whether that happens or not. I said, I agree with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Michael had a question.
I see the question. So they can see this background, right? This guy up here, this is our drummer, Rock. He works in the pharmacy at a local hospital. This is me up in the middle, if you can't tell the face. I work 10 to 12 hours Monday through Friday, welding military trucks for one of the largest U.S. military contractors. And then this is Steven. He is an assembler, assembling electronics, essentially, like little blanking on the word that I'm looking for. He assembles electronics. We'll just leave it at that. Sure. Little circuit boards and stuff.
Awesome. So I work in the trucking industry, and I work at a Mack truck dealership. And so much respect to you for building those heavy trucks, because like Mack has Mack Defense, and they have a contract with the military, and they build a lot of military trucks. I don't know if you're with Mack or if you're with another one, but
not Mack. But okay. I choose not to tell where I actually work.
Sure.
Online.
I don't blame you. And it's just cool to me to see how these trucks are made. Like Mack, a lot of their stuff's in Pennsylvania, and then they got their new medium duty trucks they make in the Carolinas. And my buddy Robert, he went to they send our mechanics to the Mack school, and they got 3 different ones. They got one in Pennsylvania, Dallas, Texas, and Atlanta, Georgia. And Robert went to the one in Pennsylvania, and it was snowing when he went. But he said he got to see where they make the Mack Defense military trucks, and he said they were all over the place up there. And he showed me a picture. I said, man, that is cool, because them things are built like a tank.
Like I said, I've welded. I weld armored military trucks, and those things, the armor on it is thick. It gets real hot welding on those.
Oh, I imagine. Is it thicker than cold peanut butter?
It is. Like I've welded actual tank bodies there. They make trucks and tanks, and I'm not kidding. The armor plating on that has got to be that thick.
Wow.
It takes a lot of heat.
Oh, look, if you break that, you're doing something you ain't supposed to be doing.
Yeah. The testing process to get certified to work on all that. Yeah.
And being a welder, like I can imagine it gets hotter than a billy goat with a blowtorch in there.
Yeah. In the middle of summer, it's probably 110 degrees inside the building, and wearing full gear head to toe. Yeah, it gets warm.
Man, that's hotter than donut grease at the Fat Man convention. I can't even imagine.
You're a very southern sounding gentleman.
Hey,
we don't talk like that up here.
I got another one that's better than that. Hotter than a nanny goat walking through a hot pepper patch eating both roses. Yeah, I'm sure it's way different because I'm like, I live in LA, which is Lower Alabama. So,
Okay.
uh, well, let me ask you this. Share your testimony. When did you get saved?
So I grew up in a Christian home. Church was second nature to me. Wasn't even, I didn't even think twice about it. And in my late teen years, honestly, I really started to struggle, started to question, everything that I had been raised to believe. It all was off the back of a pretty rough breakup, that made me question some things about where I stood. And honestly, I hit the lowest of low points and was completely prepared to take my own life. I was done. I didn't want to do this anymore. I was miserable. And if it was not for the foundation that had been built, the knowledge that I had grown up with, I probably would have done it. I would have been done. But that small bit in the back of my head that still believed, is the only thing that kept me going. And I think I don't have a particular moment to point to and say that was the moment that I got saved. But I struggled for a long time with feeling like I was not good enough for salvation, that I sinned too much. I had sinful addictions, and every day I felt like I was just not good enough to be saved. And it was partially because of the church that I grew up in, which I won't say where it was. I won't speak ill of it or that denomination, but while they didn't directly teach that you had to behave, you had to do good things and not do bad things in order to earn your salvation, the attitude of that church and that denomination was very much that if you have habitual sins, if you are struggling with certain sins, if you are dealing with X, Y, and Z, you must not be a Christian, because if you were a Christian, you wouldn't be dealing with that. And there came one point that I heard teaching from a online pastor that it finally clicked that if I am trying to be good, that's me trying to earn salvation through works. If my sin is enough to override the grace of God, then that's me trying to earn salvation through works. And there was an interesting point, because I came to realize that I cannot out-sin the grace of God. And to a lot of people, you might think that just meant I didn't feel guilty about the sin anymore, because if I can't out-sin the grace of God, then there's no reason to feel guilty. But in that moment, that addiction of sin, that cycle that I was in, broke. I have not gone back to that addiction and back to that sin since, and it's been years. And so I don't have a date for you, or, a lot of people can say, oh yeah, August 14th of, 1992, that's when I got saved. That's when I don't have a date for you or an exact time, but I can tell you that my life changed in that moment. And
that's awesome.
If I have a moment to point to it, having grown up in the church and grown up with all this knowledge, that's the moment that I would point to.
That's awesome. Because see, I don't even have an exact date for me. I just remember when I was a kid. I don't remember exactly when. I just remember being a kid and I asked Jesus. But then I was led astray for quite a while. But then boom, one day I remember getting baptized in my church, and I remember my family being there, and it was the most awesome experience getting baptized. And then since then, boom, 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 I've been on fire for Jesus. Michael says, wow, thanks for sharing that personal story. That's pretty powerful.
You know, that story, one of our songs ties in very much to that story, and I'm going to tell this story because it's a super cool story. In 2023, we released our album Disease, and the album has 12 songs on it. It was done, like the album was fully written, being mixed and mastered with 11 songs. The 12th song didn't exist. We were done with it, done at 11 songs. That's what it was going to be. We didn't have a title for it yet. Actually, we had the title. It was going to be called Disease, but it didn't have a title track. Like that, the concept of the album centered around disease, but didn't have a title track. And I am not one that likes to say, oh yeah, that was God totally did that. That was God 100%. Unless I know in my heart that was God that did it. You know, I'm not the kind of person that, you know, I didn't have enough money to pay my bills and I found a $20 bill on the sidewalk. That was God. Okay, I'm not going to say for sure that was God because I could have just happened to find a $20 bill on the sidewalk. You get what I'm saying? But this is the one moment in my life where I will say that had to be God. I, at the time, worked at a warehouse and I was on my forklift, and just, if you know my writing process for lyrics, I write lyrics, I come back and I change them, then I scrap it, and then I rewrite lyrics, and then I come back a week later and change them and flip-flop and change stuff all the time. The lyrics to the title track of that album, the track is Disease, and in parentheses, the Father's Son. I wrote those lyrics in an hour and a half on a handful of sticky notes on my forklift at work. The lyrics just came to me like that. And it tells my own story of struggling with that cycle of sin and guilt and questioning, you know, whether or not God's grace really is sufficient for my sin. The line of the chorus is, how far can I run before I've reached the limit of grace? And in the end, the song answers that question. There is no place that you could be where my mercy cannot reach. And so that song came together in a matter of hours while just at work. And that's so not my typical way of writing. You know, I wrote those lyrics and then never even had to come back to them.
Wow, that's awesome. Let's see. All right. Where to go? Wow, that is awesome. Jeff says, I understand where you were, been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Thank you, Jeff, for watching. That's pretty powerful. So how about I play the song Disease?
Go for it.
And let's let people let me load it in here. I've got 2 songs. And I've got, I'm going to play track 8 where Agony begins, and then I got Disease here. So let's load that in there.
All right.
Let's see. This week. All right. And y'all tell me what you think of this. This is track number 12. And this is awesome. Let's see.
For people that aren't used to this style of music, you may want to look up the lyrics for it.
I agree. Let's see. Well, I agree. And you want to, so who is the other artist that you have on the song?
So that is Ben Dixon. He is he has his own solo music. If you look up Ben Dixon, he plays. So stumbling over my words. I needed someone to play the role of God the Father, because the song is Disease, the Father's Son, and the entire song is simply me crying out to God, struggling through a cycle of sin and guilt. And then the last 30 seconds of the song is the Father's reply, essentially echoing the parable of the prodigal son. And so that's the role. When I needed someone to play the role of God the Father, I don't know why Ben was like the first person that came to mind. So if you haven't listened to any of Ben Dixon's music, definitely go and find it.
Sweet. That is awesome. All right, so this is track. Let's play it. This is track number 12.
Rejoicing in heaven over just one sinner who repents.
Man, that.
Yeah, play it again.
Man, that's look. Okay, there's the song lyrics. So I highlighted the song lyrics right there. So y'all go click that link after this show's over and look at the song lyrics. That is cool. And when I listen to a song and I like it and it's a really good song, you'll hear me say, "That's so fire, call the fire department." So you might as well call all the fire department in the area, because that's fire.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is cool. I love the message in that song. And I know there's people out there that are in there. I'm just gonna be real with you. Their K-Love bubble. Now look, we don't play. We ain't K-Love at Quake Radio. We play all kinds of Christian music, and you're gonna hear that song played on our station. I'm gonna get that on the station rotation. So so actually a cool thing about Quake, Jason, he's still in here. Quake stands for King Without a Crown Every Day with a K. And so Jeff loves it. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. And so we have a midnight show called Midnight Mayhem, and it's nothing but Christian rock music all the way from midnight to the early morning hours. So when I get these two songs loaded in the station rotation, now they'll not only be played on the Midnight Mayhem show, but they'll be played on the daily rotation, which is a mix of Christian worship, Christian rap, and Christian rock music. So it'll be played several times a day.
All right. Sounds good to me.
This is cool. And so, do you have a favorite Bible verse?
My answer to that question is always I do not have a single favorite Bible verse. My favorite section of Scripture is Revelation chapter 4. For anyone that doesn't know what Revelation chapter 4 is right off the bat, that's okay. If you listen to our song Crowns, it is written based off of Revelation chapter 4. It is the scene at the throne room of God with the living creatures. That's where the holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty comes from. That's the four living creatures who worship night and day, 24/7, singing holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. And that is my favorite portion of Scripture.
That is awesome. That's pretty powerful right there. And you can do a lot with that Scripture because a lot of people need to hear that.
Yeah.
And being, it's 2026, we're going through some crazy times. We're going through a war. We're going through gas prices higher than giraffe's booty. We're going through this. We're going through that. But hey, you can always turn to the Bible and listen to good Christian music, and it'll point to Jesus.
Amen.
And I try my best to point people to Jesus every day. I'm no Bible scholar. You can ask me 1,000 questions, and I'll be like, what? But I can tell you this. I do know that God's good. And I pass these witnessing tracts out. They're simple. They just fold up. They're different pages. And I don't know. I just it makes me feel so much better telling people about Jesus. And I wish other people could get fired up as I do. Cause I get just by passing these out to people, I'll run out and I'll get mad because I run out, or not really mad, but I'll get kind of sad that I've run out of these things and I have to go back to church and get some more. But hey, that's a good problem to have. And so, and if I miss somebody, I'm like, man, it just, I wish more people, and I know everybody's got a different gift. And my gift as a people, I'm a people person. I love interacting with people. I love making people laugh, telling jokes, that kind of thing. But then some people may not be. But hey, you don't have to be a Bible scholar to pass one of these things out. You can just give one of these to somebody. Here's your free gift. That's all I do. I don't make it so. I know you know of ChristianRock.net, right?
I've seen links and stuff, but haven't really spent a lot of time exploring or anything.
I don't know who the owner of that station is. It's a really large company. And even though I work with Quake Radio as a marketing director, I still listen to other Christian radio stations, and that's one of them I listen to. And they've got 6 different stations. They're so big. They got ChristianRock.net, which is the main one. And they got Christian Hits, and they got one for the classic 80s Christian rock. Then they got the heavy metal stuff. And then there's a Christian Rap .net or whatever. But one of the things they do on ChristianRock.net is they'll do 6 or 7 songs in a row, no commercials. And then they'll cut to a segment called Evangelism Minute, with Pastor Dave Chafee with Agents for Christ Ministries. And so I looked it up one day, and I looked up Dave on Facebook, and basically Agents for Christ is a ministry that goes out and tries to be agents to find people for Christ. And his Evangelism Minute segment inspired me. I want to do a segment like that on Quake Radio. But he would talk most of them are less than 2 minutes. They have music playing in the background, and then he speaks. And one of his messages was on witnessing tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, then this inspired me a lot. He said, one thing about witnessing tracks, when you give one to somebody that they're just there, they don't talk back, whatever somebody does with it, whether they throw it away or give it to somebody ends up with it. And that spoke volumes to me because I'm not a Bible scholar. I'm not a big fancy speaker. Maybe one day the Lord may say, hey, here you go. This is whatever. This is your gift. But as of right now, I'm not. So I just go up to somebody. Here you go. Here's your free gift. And when they ask me what it is, I said, well, it's got some really good information in it. And I said, I want you to read this and it'll do you some good. And that's usually what I say. And then I leave it at that.
Yeah.
JT says,
I'm going to address the question of new music coming in the near future.
yes.
The answer is hopefully. We have a new project in the works. I would say it's about 65% done. I'm not going to say how large of a project or how small of a project. It is more than a single, more than a couple songs. It's about 65% done. Our goal, which if anyone remembers when we released Disease, our goal was to release that in 2022. We ended up our goal was summer of 2022 was to release Disease, and we ended up releasing it in January of 23. So we fell about 6 months behind what our goal was. So when I say our goal is to have this new project released by the end of summer, take that with a grain of salt. Like I said at the very start, we're all very busy guys, all have other responsibilities, and music is kind of fit in where it can be fit in.
Yeah, it sounds like they're busier than a one-armed trombone player. So,
well, right now, especially, I'm working 60+ hour work weeks right now. So, yeah, finding time to fit music in there too can be a little bit difficult.
Man, that trombone player ain't got nothing on you. Jeff says, let's do it. I'll record segments for it. Okay, I'm down with that. Man, that's cool. So let's get to the next song here. This is where agony ends.
I talked a little bit. This song, and I will post the lyrics to this one as well because I can find it within 5 seconds.
Sweet.
This song is my own thoughts and struggles that I talked about earlier with wanting to commit suicide. So that's what this song is about. I will, if my phone will cooperate, there's the lyrics to that one. If anyone wants to look them up. This one I find is a little bit easier to understand the lyrics for. It's still like the same screaming stuff, but it's a lot. The lyrics tend to be clearer in this one.
Awesome. That's cool. And, I listen to a lot of Christian rock music, and I've learned, if it's too hard and it's not your cup of tea and you can't understand it, you can still respect it because it's still Christian music and it's still pointing people to Jesus. And there's a lot of people that can relate to that. So I want people to jump out of their little K-Love bubble and say, hey, there's other music besides what's played on K-Love, and see that because not everybody listens to K-Love. I don't, and I'm not bashing them, but
And the thing with K-Love, and not just K-Love, but Christian radio in general, the handful of Christian radio stations that play just contemporary Christian music in general, it's all very, for lack of a better way to describe it, Jesus is my boyfriend. Love songs to Jesus. All right. That's what so much of it is. And
Yeah.
sure, we should love our Creator. We should love God without a doubt. But there are real life circumstances that also need to be addressed. People that are truly hurting, people that are truly struggling. And we need messages for those people, because let me tell you this, if we play a lot of bar shows. If I went into a bar and tried to play worship music, like what you hear on contemporary Christian radio, no one would want to listen to that. But I have played Where Agony Ends and even told the people in bars, hey, from the stage, hey, this song is about my own struggles and my own coming to faith in Jesus Christ and the way that he changed me. And he can do the same thing for you, you know? And I've had people come up to me in the bars and be like, man, I needed to hear that tonight. I've been having a really rough time. I've been going through this and that, you know? And those people wouldn't be reached with that if I was up there playing contemporary Christian worship music up on stage, because one, that kind of music doesn't make it into bars.
Exactly. Exactly. Man, look, and JT says he loves screaming music. By the way, shout out to my brother JT there. JT does the Facing Goliath rock show on Wednesdays. And that was the Three Wise Men podcast, but it morphed over and we let JT take over and run his show. And then I stepped down the other week from helping JT. I'll help him in the background, but shout out to my brother JT. He is actually interviewing James Franchise tomorrow night on the show. And if anybody don't know who James Franchise is, you need to look up his band.
What? It's back there. James Franchise on my hat.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's cool.
Shout out. He is a good dude.
Oh, I bet he is. I see his post every day on Facebook. I've never met him. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know a lot of his music. I know some of it, but like that's cool. And JT says you won't find him in church either. Woo, better preach. And look, like I ain't a bar person. I hate them kind of places, but you know what? If bands get called to go reach the gospel, I'm all for it. I think it's awesome. I think it's cool, and that y'all are playing. And if I could give him a virtual high five, that'd be it right there.
I am not a bar person either. I have never gone to a bar for the purpose of drinking. You know, I've been to a couple because the food's really good. You know,
yeah.
But 9 times out of 10 in my life, if I'm in a bar, it's because I'm playing a show there.
That's awesome. And you know, like. Y'all play pretty much anywhere because where you gonna find the lost in places like that, and and yes, you'll find them in church because there's a lot of lost people that go to concerts and churches, but like places like bars and worldly venues like that, like man, that's like I went and saw Memphis May Fire a few months ago, and I know I didn't find out till I've been listening to them for years. I didn't realize till recently, sometime last year, or I think it was last year sometime, that they're Christians that are in a band, but they don't consider themselves a Christian rock band.
As far as I know, Matty Mullins is the only member that's a Christian. Their guitarist, Kellen, he might be, but I don't know. The only one I know for sure is Matty Mullins, and I know some of the other members are not.
Okay.
Matty Mullins certainly is, and that's why they don't get labeled as a Christian band, because while he writes the lyrics, so a lot of them represent his faith, it's not something that the rest of the band shares. But I'm not going to lift it up and show it, but I have a Memphis May Fire tattoo on the back of my leg, and I named my son after Matty Mullins. So
that is so cool. I'm a massive fan of theirs, and I'm glad you told me that, because I didn't know 100%. And I ain't gonna lie, like I got the VIP meet and greet, and I nerded out meeting him. I was like, this is my guy. Like, I love his passion for Christ. I love his song, his solo song he did, Show Me the Cross.
Yep, I know.
Man, That's a powerful song, and they were supposed to do. It was at a place called Vinyl Music Hall in Pensacola, Florida, and there were three bands that played before them, and thankfully it was all clean music. I didn't hear a cuss word in a single song, but you could tell them first three bands were very, very worldly. They were, when they would stop and talk, it was blankety blank this, blank blank that, but at least their songs were clean. It was Rain, and they were good bands. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just gonna be real with you. It was Rain City Drive. It was Never Tell, and there was another band that played with them that were good. And when they did the meet and greet from Memphis May Fire, I was so excited. I was like, I've been trying to see these guys for years. And I said, I'm finally going to do it because their new song, The Other Side, is my favorite. It's basically an anti-suicide song.
Mm.
And my friend Jeff watching there, I played it for him one night. And Jeff would tell you what that song did for him. And, but like, I remember getting in line and we got these VIP posters. And I'm going to get this in frame, but this is from the Shapeshifter Tour, Part 1. And they all autographed it, which is killer. And I've never seen a tour poster that was holographic like that. So that was cool. And so I remember getting in line and they said that, because I was hoping to have a one-on-one, they were supposed to do a one-on-one session with the artist. And I was going to actually ask him, Matty, a few questions. And then they said, because they got the tour posters late, that what they were going to do is just get everybody to run through the line real quick and get their posters signed and then come back through the line after they get done with the pictures, and then they'll do the one-on-one. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. And they never did the one-on-one. I was super disappointed. They never said why. I'm assuming it was because they got the posters late and they had to sign them in front of you. And so anyways, I remember when I went in line, I was like, man, he was the nicest person you ever want to meet. And he was so nice to me. And I said, hey, man, I just wanted to tell you that God's blessed you with a gift of sharing Christ with people. And I think you have a special gift. And that meant the world to him. He was thanking me and was talking to me as I was walking off and signed the poster. But I just love his passion. And, he's got a powerful.
Yeah, their album Unconditional was certainly played a large role in me turning my life around. So I've had a spot for them ever since. I got to see them back in 2018. They're very rarely up here. So one of these years when they make their way back up here, I want to get the meet and greet, because when my son was born, I reached out to Matty Mullins through Cameo and had him make a video for my son to see in the future. And so like, he is fully aware that I have a son who is named after him. So
that's awesome. That's cool. I wonder, like, their logo, the three slashes, where did that come from? I wonder.
Don't know. I don't know. It just looks like an M.
Yeah, it does, don't it? And because every time I look up a GIF or GIF, whatever that word these kids say nowadays, every time I look up one of those on Facebook, when I do a Facebook story and I play one of their songs, or I'll do it on Snapchat and I'll play one of their songs and record it, and I'll always find the little GIFs, and it'll be a solid red one or a black and red one that flashes, and then their other logo. I'm like, that's pretty cool. So you have obviously Memphis May Fire influences you. Is there any other bands that influence you?
Our music tends to be a very interesting mix, especially Disease, because when that album was written, we had 4 members, and I was the only one that was not a classically trained jazz musician. We all love metal, but the other 3 were classically trained jazz musicians. So there weren't a ton of like really big influences on it. Our old guitarist who did the writing on Disease was a big Architects fan. So you may find some Architects influences behind some of the riffs. Yeah, but otherwise it's different. It sticks to the metalcore genre, but I can't really point to any specific influences.
Sure, that's cool. I just butchered your name. Dimily John. I know I just butchered. He's from some other country. I don't know what country he's from, but he's been following my Facebook for a few months now and been liking my posts and commenting. And I hope he's not like one of these Indian scammers, but he says, I hate to be that way, but I can tell a fake page from a mile away. But he's been commenting on all my stuff, so I'm assuming it's real. It says, good evening, all of you. So greetings from the United States of America. And hey, maybe I can turn you on Blue Fire Horizon, and you can go tell your folks in your country about these awesome guys right here. So let's hit play on where agony ends.
to me, 'cause this is right in the end.
Woo! Man, so let's do this. This deserves a clap from the audience. And then we also got to get the that is fire emojis in the chat. And so JT says got a hard since October vibe.
I am not familiar with Since October. I don't know.
I'm not either.
So,
Oh, Jeff says lit. So that means it's good, but Jeff says lit because that's what the kids say nowadays.
Kids. I hate to break it to you, but it was my generation saying lit for not the kids these days, man.
Yeah. So that's I think the kids these days say that stupid word. I don't say this word often, but what's that stupid word? Bussin'. Like yeah, that's that's stupid. Like, where do they come up with these words, man?
I mean, your generation had your own slang, my generation had my slang, and the thing is that every generation looks at the one following and goes, wow, your slang is really stupid. So, the generation before yours probably heard the way you talk about, wow, these kids are dumb.
Yeah, exactly. So that's y'all need to go download those songs. Go to Amazon Music, download them. Do y'all have any CDs on your website?
You do. If you go to bluefirehorizon.com, you will find our 2020 EP release, Down with Leviathan, and our 2023 album, Disease, both for sale.
Awesome. Let's see. Let me do this. IZON. Booyah. There's that. Copy. And let me come back. Booyah. It froze me, but I'm back. And like magic, y'all check out this website. CAEC. Whoop, I spelled it wrong. Check out this website.
Yep, you can find our music on the website. You can find lyrics on the website if you want to know what the songs are saying. You can find t-shirts and hats and sweatshirts on the website. Yeah.
Oh, so Michael's got it also. Awesome. Very cool.
There we go.
BlueFireHorizon.com/collections all. And then there's the one on my ministry page. Y'all check out this website, BlueFireHorizon.com. Awesome. So where can they go to the website and book y'all?
Yep. If anyone is looking to book us to play somewhere, there is a contact us tab in the website. Otherwise, bluefirehorizonband@gmail.com. Or honestly, if you just message us on Facebook or Instagram, we'll get that too. Generally, 9 times out of 10, I'm the one that you're going to talk to. If you email, message, whatever, I'm generally the one that you're going to be communicating with. So.
Oh, JT's got a question. Favorite bands that you've toured with? Ooh, that's a good one.
We have never gone on tour. But I will say the favorite bands that I have played shows with. We opened up for Impending Doom back in 2021. That was super cool.
Ooh.
Love Impending Doom. I love the guys in Amongst the Giants. We've had the privilege of sharing times with those guys. I actually had to stay at my house once because they were up here playing a festival here in Wisconsin, and I have an open couch. So
shout out Marco Pira. Yep. Or Piro, however you say his name.
Para.
And
Brian. Yep.
Very cool. I love their music. Their album Obscene, I've got it on CD. It's pretty cool.
Fun little tidbit. Their most recent EP, Desolate Minds, the one they released in 2022, I think. It sounds super like Memphis Mayfire. Every time I listen to them, this sounds like Memphis Mayfire. And a large part of it is because it's produced by Memphis Mayfire's guitarist who produces Memphis
Kellen.
Mayfire's music. Yep, Kellen.
Very cool.
So the production of it is very Memphis Mayfire-esque.
That's awesome because him and Joseph Rojas are like best buds, and he does a lot of stuff for Sunday Slumber and Rockfest Records. That's cool. Marco is he's nasty. Look, let me tell you. So of course I'm on the Sunday Slumber Street team, but like Disciple is in my favorites list, and Striper Red and Disciple 12 Stones, they're in my favorites list. And I remember seeing Disciple at Winter Jam, and it was the last year they was on Winter Jam, and Marco was on the tour with them playing guitars, and him and Josiah Prince, literally, this is the coolest thing. It's on my YouTube. You can go watch it on my YouTube. I filmed the whole entire set on Cooners Outdoors Ministries YouTube, but you can see it in the video. I barely caught it. You can catch towards the end of it. But Marco and Josiah literally grab their guitars and throw them in midair, and they both catch each other's guitars like a boss and kept playing like nothing ever happened. Wow.
I saw him playing with Disciple when they were up here on tour at one point, and I had like totally forgotten he was touring with Disciple at the time. And so like we showed up for the Disciple show, and I'm like, holy crap, that's Marco. Like I forgot about that, but he didn't do the exact same thing with Josiah, but instead they reached over and did the hand placement for notation on each other's guitars while still picking their own. So that was pretty cool.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know you're talented when you can do that.
Yeah.
And so do you play guitar also or just sing?
I can play guitar, but for Blue Fire Horizon, no, I just do vocals.
Okay. But I bet you're so good you could do it backwards blindfolded.
I could not. No. No, when we first started, I was singing and playing bass, and I quickly determined, this is too intricate for me to play on bass and sing at the same time. Like I could do one or the other, but I can't do both at the same time. So
I bet that was hard to do.
It was. Yeah, no, it did not work out very well. So
there's no way. I don't know. I don't even know if I could do it. That would be too tough. I'd be busier in a one-arm paper hanger with a case of the hives. By the way, that'd be a crappy job to have. I can't do it.
You talk like an old Southern grandma.
That's a knee slapper right there. That's pretty cool. I've never had anybody say that. Talk like an old Southern grandma. That is cool. Like back in my day, back in my pappy's day. So do y'all have any upcoming shows?
We do not have anything booked right now. We're taking a step back from playing shows for the next couple months to try to hammer out this next set of new music, so that hopefully we can manage to get it done by the end of the summer and have it ready for release. I will say this new music that we are working on is without a doubt the most emotionally driven music that we have written. This new project is a story start to finish that is based off a true story and very emotionally driven.
That's awesome. So all right, so Jeff says, great show tonight. I appreciate your guest testimony. Shout out to my friend Jeff Brooks. Okay. So, yes, JT says, tell him about the fight between Chuck Norris and Superman. So Chuck Norris once fought Superman. The loser had to wear their underwear outside their uniform.
I've heard that one. Yeah.
That is awesome. I wish that was a true story. Like if Chuck Norris was alive today, and speaking of music, they said before the Black Eyed Peas met Chuck Norris, they were known as the Peas.
See, the best one I heard after he passed was that the doctors tried to resuscitate him by giving him CPR, but they just kept breaking their wrists on his chest and couldn't revive him.
I haven't heard that one. That's pretty good. I'm a big Chuck Norris fan. That's why I know I'm an encyclopedia of Chuck Norris stuff. They said Chuck Norris can make a slinky go upstairs.
Yeah.
And two of the ones in my top 5 list. And I've told this to JT on the show. The Chuck Norris can hit you so hard your blood will bleed. And then crop circles are Chuck Norris's way of telling the world that sometimes corn needs to lie down. I know. That's a knee slapper. So here, okay, you'll enjoy this question. What do you call Jesus working out?
I don't know.
Jehovah Fitness. When I get rich one day, I'm going to have me a gym called Jehovah Fitness. And when you walk in, it's going to be a picture of Jesus in the background, deadlifting the earth. I know that's going to be the corniest thing, but hey, if it brings people in, I'm cool with it.
Go for it. Go for it. Once you do that, I'll join.
Okay. Deal. Look, we're going to need an autograph picture of the band to hang up in the room.
Okay.
Like, yeah, this guy goes to this gym.
I don't know. If you look at me, that's probably not the best ringing endorsement,
But like, y'all would never guess who just joined my new gym. Like Zachariah from Blue Fire Rising. You have no idea. These guys are legendary. Like these guys are the Chuck Norris of Christian rock music.
Oh, no. No.
And most people do not know this. Most people don't know that Chuck Norris was a Christian.
Yeah. Yep.
He had a huge testimony, and and he didn't mind sharing Jesus with people either.
Yep. He was definitely very outspoken.
And I remember one time, I won't never forget. This is one of the elections when Obama won one of the elections, but it was when Mike Huckabee was running for president. And I'm a Huckabee fan because he's a Christian, and I don't talk politics a lot, but usually when I talk politics, I don't mind telling you who I voted for, and like I'm a Trump guy, so and so. But like, I remember when Mike Huckabee was running for president, we get a voicemail on the house phone, and I said, wait a second, and I don't really care for politics, but I like to pay attention, when I'm going to vote for somebody who I'm going to vote for. I like to study them. And then, so I get this voicemail, I listen, and it says something like, hey, this is Chuck Norris, and I want you to vote for my friend, Mike Huckabee, for president. And turns out they were like best of friends. And he actually joined his campaign and was telling people that he wanted them to vote for him. So they took a recording of him talking about Mike Huckabee, and they sent that call out to thousands and thousands of people, I'm sure. And I got that. I said, man, I wish I would have saved that voicemail now, because I'm like, man, that one time Chuck Norris called my house. But sadly, it was not really. I mean, I know it was him,
right?
But it wasn't actually him calling. It was just a voice recording, Yeah. So when y'all do get some shows, I want you to send them over to me, and I'll get them on the website. I get them on the interactive calendar.
Will do.
So do you have anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to shout out?
Thank you to my wife for putting up with me and the noise that came from band practice from our basement for years. Thank you to Steven and Rock, because they are the backbone of the band. Without Steven and Rock, there would be no band. It would just be me. Thank you to Keegan. He was our original guitarist, and he left the band very early in 2021. But if it wasn't for his passion and drive, when this band started, it was just a group of guys getting together just to jam and have fun in my basement. We weren't going anywhere with it. We were just kind of like, hey, let's get together and jam. And when Keegan came along, he really was the one that kind of pushed it, like, hey, we could do something more with this than just be a group of guys hanging out in your basement, you know. So even though he wasn't really a part of the band for all that long, without him pushing us to be something more, wouldn't be anything.
Very cool, very cool. And y'all be sure and go to, there's the website, bluefirehorizon.com. Buy some CDs, buy some merch.
Yes.
It's better to buy CDs and go to Spotify and stream, because Spotify do not pay artists, but if you buy a CD, they make more money, and anything helps them out.
I'm usually not one to be like, hey, go buy some of our merch, go spend money on us. But like I said, we have new music coming very soon, and right now the biggest hang up is going to be production costs. So if you want to help push that music forward to get done, that's the best way you can do it, is just go buy a t-shirt, go buy, a hat, a CD, whatever it may be, because that will go towards helping us get that new music put out.
I'm gonna be buying a CD. And do you autograph CDs too?
I can. I
Okay.
have them in my closet right now. So if you say you want it autographed, let
Okay.
me know. So if you order
Deal.
a CD, I will get the notification. Just send me a message, be like, hey, can you guys autograph that CD?
Very cool. I'm gonna do that because I collect CDs, and so that little wooden cabinet behind me, man, my dad built that. It's a CD shelf. So I probably got close to 400 CDs, and got the new Honor and Glory worship album, which is basically Disciple, but it's their worship project.
Yeah.
And it still sounds heavy. I love it. Because I don't listen to a lot of worship music, and I love worship music, but I prefer Christian rock, Christian rap. And and then one thing about CDs, you can get them autographed. They sound better than your regular MP3. And I love reading the booklets, especially if an artist has a booklet with it. Like, I love reading the booklets, looking through the pictures. Like there's the Honor and Glory booklet. And it's cool to me because and the CDs don't require internet to play. So if you're out in the middle of nowhere, as long as you got a power source, you can play a CD. And bands make more money. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and call out Spotify and tell these folks, hey, look, pay your artist, you suck. Like, I think it's cool that bands have, and I have a Spotify. I do. And I don't listen to it a lot because the bands don't make money. And I like to support the bands. And look, these guys are coming up with a new album, so you need to buy an album. Every little bit helps. Or if you can't buy an album, just donate or just share the website.
Yeah. I mean, even just like our posts on social media, share our posts. It gets more views on our stuff. Any little bit.
And look up Blue Fire Horizon on YouTube. I'm glad I thought about that too.
Our music, wherever you listen to music, whether it's on Spotify, and listen, I mean, over the last 6 years, we've made about $1,500 off of streaming services. So
hey,
it's not nothing, So
exactly.
I mean, that combines, that's iTunes, Spotify, YouTube Music, all of that combined. It's like $1,500 over the last 6 years that we've been together. So it's not nothing. So
exactly.
if that's all you've got, and you're like, hey, I can't afford to buy CDs of every band I love, don't feel bad about listening to it on streaming services.
That's right. And I went to Amazon, $1.29 per song. Like, boom, download Blue Fire Horizon and search them on Amazon Music. So is there anything else you want to say before we end the show out?
Jesus is for everyone, man.
I'm telling you, that is a powerful, powerful message. And if anybody's got any prayer requests, y'all drop them in the comment section. Y'all definitely keep me in your prayers. I keep having vehicle problems. My trucks keep breaking down. Thankfully, my blue truck's running good, but my other one, I went to pick it up from the mechanic shop, and it still ain't fixed. And it's just been one nightmare after the other on that. So y'all keep me in your prayers on that. And then pray that I get my website going. Pray for these guys that they get more shows and that they get where they need to be in life. And pray for JT's podcast. Shout out to Jeff Brooks, my brother Jeff Brooks in here. He's got a new podcast coming on Thursday. It's called Unchained with Jeff Brooks. It's going to come on Thursday nights on Quake Radio. And if anybody ever wants to listen to awesome music like these guys here, so there's the website scrolling. You can go to quakeradio.com, or you can just. So have you ever heard of Live 365?
I have, yes.
Okay, so for those who don't know what Live 365 is, that's where our station is. You can see it scrolling on the bottom ticker. So Live 365, you can go download the official Live 365 app, which is what I use to listen to us at work. And when you download that app, you can go in there and search any kind of genre of music. Like I listen to country music. You can search country radio stations. You can find any kind of stations. You can go in there once you download the app and just type Quake Radio and you can find us. Or you can get type that website link there, or just go to quakeradio.com, and from there that'll take you to the Live 365, and you can just click that and paste it and pin it and play it. Just press play button. And so now these guys' music will be played on there, so you'll hear them on the Midnight Mayhem show, plus during the day with the regular show. So, you want to pray us out?
Sure.
Cool.
Right. Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to get together, to talk, to speak of you, to discuss music and life in general. Thank you for the ministry that these men who run Quake Radio have. And I pray that you would just use this to reach people for you in ways that you would see fit. Amen.
Amen. And don't forget, y'all, tomorrow night, my awesome friend JT Clegg, tomorrow night on the Facing Goliath Rock Show, he's interviewing James Franchise. So I think it's 8 p.m. Central, right, JT? Be sure and post your time in there. But he is interviewing James Franchise tomorrow night on the Facing Goliath Rock Show. So nice. I'm excited for my brothers to get to interview him. So that's cool. And then coming up soon.
Tell James I said hi. I'm talking to
Awesome.
JT in the chat if he's still there. Tell James I said hi. James knows who I am and knows me well. So
okay, great. So what is the name of James's band?
I do not know how to pronounce that because I have only seen it written and there are no vowels. It's just RVKH, and I don't know how to pronounce that.
Yeah, because I was scared I was going to butcher it. Yeah, 8:30 Central.
So you'll have to have JT ask him how to pronounce that because I have not actually heard it said out loud. So
Rivik? Yeah, no, I would butcher that. Like,
I think it's Rivka. I think.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. And
I'm sure JT's got a bunch of his songs he'll play too, so that's cool. Yeah, okay. Man, that's awesome. I'm excited to see that interview. And then after that, JT is interviewing Jason Wayne, the lead singer of Drown the Planet. Do you know Drown the Planet?
I am familiar with the name, but I don't think I can tell you any of their music. So
I don't know their music, but I actually met Jason briefly. He's been touring with 7 Day Slumber, and he was on the Y2K Reloaded tour, and he's been touring and playing with them. Jason Dunn, the original lead singer of Hawk Nelson, he's been playing the drums for him, which is cool. And then he plays the guitar with 7 Day Slumber.
Okay.
And when he's not with them, he does Drown the Planet. I don't know a lot about Drown the Planet. JT's a huge fan of Drown the Planet. He's been sending me their stuff. So,
guess I have a new band I gotta look up. that
Awesome,
since
yeah.
October, since apparently our music was giving that vibe. So yeah.
And very cool. And if JT, if you got any of their music, send them over, and we'll make sure that because I've never heard of either band's music a whole lot, except for Drown the Planet. I've heard one or two of their songs, but that's about it. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Y'all share this out. Share it. Tag your grandma, your auntie, your uncle, everybody you know that needs to hear Jesus. Tag them in the comments section. We still got 4 people in here. I know JT, Jeff. I think some of your fans may still be in here, and I'm not sure if Jason's still watching or not. Jason's going through seminary school right now. Hey, Erica. Erica's in the building. So appreciate all y'all watching. We'll see y'all later. God loves you. Jesus saves.
Thank you.